Hi. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how emotional abuse affects DNA, the neurotransmitters in our brain. So I'm going to tell you how I discovered looking this up. I never really, I knew you could heal trauma in your brain. I knew you could repair cells, but I never knew what it was. So I thought about it, and Spirit usually gives me answers. Like they'll show me a random article on Facebook, it'll show up, or else Google something. So I seen the word hippocampus, and that was really interesting because it was in the trauma category I was looking up. And hippocampus is Greek for seahorse. It is a pair of two structures tucked inside each temporal lobe, shaped like seahorses, right? That's kind of cute. Okay, so these help store and release memories, retaining in the mind a piece of DNA for a few moments, after which it either gets transferred to permanent memory or immediately forgotten. People who have experienced high distress levels or just constant confusion, gaslighting, childhood relationships, anything, okay, I'm gonna do this really general. They have less room because they're holding something else supercharged and yelling at them all the time. If someone has neglect or not much interaction, there's not much going on there. So everywhere they go, they're excited, they're curious, and they're watching and they're learning. A lot of people will think of this person as creepy because they remember everything. They have really good memory and they're quiet because they don't have social skills. Those are the kids that are neglected. Those are the kids that probably are so intelligent because they're constantly learning from those around them, and they're the potheads who don't talk a lot, or they're the kids who are teenagers who get really excited when someone talks to them, or stuff like that. I just want to try and place these examples so you guys can kind of place and relate and put the pieces together, okay? All right, people experiencing higher stress with a higher number of PTSD, they have greater chances of decreased room over time. There's less volume to remember things. So these people, you might see them as ditzy, self-absorbed, because they can't absorb anything around them, and they don't see it. They're not even aware because they had someone around them constantly telling them how ridiculous they are, how stupid they are, how worthless they are. There's no more room for memory. Our computer is full. I lived this, and I'm gonna also, at the end of the video, I'm gonna tell you guys how to heal it, okay? Yeah, okay, let's keep going. Basically, the longer you stay in an emotional abusive situation, the more deterioration happens in your hippocampus. The neurological process may enhance your feelings of confusion. What else is here? Cognitive disassociance. You might disassociate at random times because you're so overloaded and there's nothing going on. You're just sitting there you know what I mean? Those people you call stupid and ditzy, this is them. Their brain has no room to process, and sometimes it's just they're not there. So I hope this video kind of teaches people compassion too for these energies. No one talks about their history. No one talks about what's going on at home. No one talks about their childhood. People could be like this in high school and everyone thinks she's the ditzy bitch, That's not so. Okay. She's probably actually really smart. Okay, so abuse amnesian victims of narcissism and psychopathic abuse, this isn't necessarily physical. It can be physical because someone's beating them in the head or just constantly charging at them, attacking them. It's always about the person they're attacking, and that's why people become self-absorbed a little bit after they've been in relationships like this, because it's always about them. So when they're offloading on people, it's really annoying. People get annoyed with them. They don't want to hang out with them anymore, and this is sad because this is honestly a cry for help. Whenever people message me, if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook or even here, I don't know if you can message people on here, I've never tried, but I have a lot of people needing to confide in me, and I used to get really impatient and annoyed with these people, and then finally I was like, they keep talking, this is a sign I need to listen, and I will comfort them. I'll let them speak. No judgment, no advice, nothing. I'm like, You're doing everything exactly as you need to. You're learning your lesson. You're doing amazing. Just having that little bit of support can help repair some DNA in these people. It's great to be a support system. It's great to have compassion, because right now is like the all-time healing for the world. If you guys noticed, today, February 1st, 2022, I almost said 2021, it's people are getting rid of the inner child pain, and the people who haven't worked on that, they are about to have like a hit the rock bottom phase, you know what I mean? Or else some people are just spiritually dead and destined to be like that because their spirit is so young. They have a lot to learn. Okay, not everyone has like a spiritual destiny, and that's okay. There's no problem with it. Everyone is different. There's different variations and levels of people all over the world, because we are supposed to learn to cohabitate. Okay, learn patience, blah blah blah, stay in your lane, stuff like that. I have a really hard time with that one, and it's because of this. I experienced this directly. Okay, hang on, I'm just gonna change this on. Okay, next, narcissists, psychopaths, manipulators, or people who've been manipulated and live this way and picked up habits unknowingly. They will keep their supplies, victims in a constant state of anxiety and fear, which causes victims to react, let's see, what does this say here? From their amygdala, okay? Okay. I can't say that word. I've been trying to for a while. It's called the reptilian brain otherwise. So the reptilian brain controls life functions such as breathing, heart rate, what else here? Along with basic emotions like love, fear, hate, lust. It's all our primal emotions, okay? Let's see. This is also responsible for fight or flight reaction. When we're operating from the reptilian brain, when we've been, like, okay, so how, I'm gonna explain this for you guys. We're right here. Okay, so if you have a lot of PTSD, you're not operating from a normal state. You're not operating from your basic comfort zone, your element. You're not in your state of being, so up kicks in reptilian brain, and this is kind of like a backup motor. And it's like, if someone triggers something, like say you're out of the situation and someone is watching your story a little too early than everyone else, and you're like, nope, block, nope, 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 fuck that bitch. That's reptilian brain. Or say, so an issue with this is we want to seek validation for ourselves. So say the person who abused us, or we were dating people hereafter and it didn't work out, because we're operating from the system, we become a little bit obsessed. We text them, they're not replying, so we check their social media, they block us, stuff like that. That is where this comes from, fight or flight. Usually we flight, and then we want to fight for it because we realize we fucked up, but we don't want to admit it. We want to blame them. I struggle with this still, okay? So if you feel like you resonate with this after having a bad relationship, I'm there with you, babe. Okay, I was going to say sister, but there's going to be guys here too. Okay, so what else do we got here? Narcissist supply. I'm just going to use that term even though I'm talking about many variations of people, okay? They live in this state almost daily. It's crazy. Like, I can see why no one wanted to be my friend after I experienced all of this and ended up operating from my primal brain, okay? I feel you. If you're still operating from this, it's okay. We're gonna give some advice at the end of the video on how to heal it. I have some really good ideas for you. And I'm also gonna put a video out maybe later tonight about how to transmute thought, okay? All right. Where are we here? Over time, the amygdala remembers the things we felt, saw, and heard each time we have a painful experience. So that means life is not going to be normal after you have this. You're always going to operate from a place of fear. You're always going to operate from a place of pain. And we don't even, like, if you've been through this, you don't even realize you're doing it. You're wondering, like, why do I need depression pills? Why do I have anxiety? Why do I shake at night? It's because you are overloaded. You're living in a place where it's constant fight or flight. constantly worrying, constantly texting people like, I feel like this is happening, this is gonna happen. And people get annoyed with that, and it sucks. But eventually you hit like a point in your life where it's like some kind of healing, okay? Some kind of hint, a seed is planted. It changes eventually. You're not gonna live like this forever. To be in despair is to be at the bottom of the pit, and there's only up from there, okay? Subliminal hits of stressful events. Example, photos, quotes, harmless small actions from people. We're gonna take it super personal. It's gonna hit us in the heart, in the soul, okay? It's gonna be heavy. These will set off the organs. I'm so sick of burping on video. It's only ever on video. Like, so it'll set off the organs to attack or escape plan, okay? Triggering avoidant behaviors or internal turmoil. So if you are someone who doesn't react, like I said, like paranoid, almost looking like you have a major mental illness, if you don't react, you are definitely someone who eats it up inside and destroys yourself. You destroy yourself. It's constant mental battle every single day. And sometimes we end up doing both. Most of the time we end up doing both. It destroys us spiritually, like in the mind, everything, okay? Good reason to avoid watching an ex. If you know, the reason this feeling comes up about an ex or anyone, it's because it's being brought up so you can heal it, purge it, feel it, cry it out, scream, go smash some plates from the dollar store into a box or something. Say their name every time. Like, you did this. I know what, like, I know you're aware, and I know you feel good because of it, and I'm taking my power back. Do something. Don't contact them. Don't watch them because it hurts, okay? And I know that's really hard to do. Okay? I know that's really hard to do, and I'm going to talk about ways to heal, so we'll talk about that after. Okay. Well, after the toxic relationship ends, supplies often suffer from PTSD, CPTSD, panic attacks, phobias, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, obsession, did I say paranoia? Paranoia. All due to triggered primal fears by the overactive reptilian brain, okay? You're operating from your second engine, and the second engine has no connected state of being. You are not your truest self. You're operating from survivor mode, okay? So there's a constant state of high alert. Almost, let's see. Exactly, almost matching paranoia. The narcissist tends to use this as a blackmail tactic. They'll start telling you you're fucking crazy. You need help. And you know what? Before this even happens, they'll start talking about you. They'll start telling people she's crazy, he's crazy. He's such a fucking dick. And you know what's nuts? They're the ones treating you bad. They're the ones lying. They're the ones cheating. The things they tell people, the reason I'm adding this all in is because I want you to understand what actually happened to you, and I want you to be able to process all of this, okay? It's a pretty heavy video, so if you end up crying or getting emotional, it's okay. You need to. Crying is energy release. We need to cry. We need to feel to heal, bro. Okay? Okay. So they'll start telling people like, they were always like this. Haha, like I told you. They're psycho. They're obsessed with me. But meanwhile, they're obsessed with you, and this is how this happened. They end up switching energies with you, and now you're like, why aren't you bothering me like you used to? What's going on? What's going on? Are you seeing someone else? Like, they trigger really big wounds. Narcissists, manipulators, gaslighters, they always go after people with trauma. The reason they want to get super close with you right away is because they want to find your weaknesses. If you are just watching this to learn, or else if you're starting to date someone and you're noticing red flags, wanting to get close to you right away, wanting to know your personal life, telling you things, like really surface things, and then expecting you to reveal everything, this person has an agenda, and they may not even realize it. They grew up like this, okay? There's a reason they're like this. They probably have a shitty player reputation too, okay? Or else everyone loves them, but there's a true few who are like, that guy's a fucking loser. She's psycho. Like, she'll actually twist everything on you. Listen to them. Stay away from these people. Even if they aren't actually narcissists or manipulators, they have to heal. Listen to the red flags. Please stop seeking validation from people who give you 5 minutes of attention, okay? Because that's all it's gonna be. It's gonna be 5 minutes and you're gonna be fucked up for the rest of your life. That's what's gonna feel like, okay? Furthermore, the supply secludes themselves, and you actually kind of blame yourself. You're kind of like, well, everyone is not mad at them. What the fuck? I'm drinking too much. That's where you build addictions, codependency, some kind of thing. You end up needing comfort and you can't find it in this person. People are ignoring you. It's really hard to get through this in a normal state. So if you've already experienced this, I'm with you, sister, brother. Let's keep going. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna change my song. Okay, out of these fears, targets often engage in primitive defensive mechanisms. These are them, but they're not limited to. There's many, and I just didn't want to write like a whole lot, so add whatever you think is necessary if you want to comment to help me, because I couldn't think of all the examples. Denial and suppression of feelings so that they don't have to deal with it. Painful feelings are areas of life that they don't want to admit weakness to. So this is when someone's like, I'm tough, I have no feelings, I haven't cried in 2 years. That's not good. That's not something to brag about. That's actually really toxic, and you probably manipulate people to not, or like run away from triggers. You probably have a really hard time having relationships with normal people, and you only ever end up being with thugs or drug addicts or rich assholes, narcissists, you know? Thugs can be girls too. You can put females into those too. There's no gender roles here. It's all unbiased, okay? Or you can be with the girls who have a bunch of guys and they constantly lie to you. No, I'm not talking to anyone. And meanwhile, they're like sneaking off saying they're with the girls and they're with another guy. So people like this, I just want to say, who are doing this, they need energy from a bunch of different people to feel alive. They didn't have the fulfillment. They didn't have validation from their family, friends, like whoever. Growing up, they were constantly fucked with, you know what I mean? They experience the same thing you're getting, and this gives them life, okay? So, compartmentalization, that's a big word. The delusion of, the division of something into sections. So this is where people pick and choose good and bad. If they don't want to remember horrible things because it does send them into fight or flight or anxiety or like breaking down and shaking, they're gonna be like, oh, he's a good dad, she's a good mom. Like, no, look at, she's got the kids and like, I'm not doing so well. That's you know what I mean? You put it into compartments, you're sectioning it, you're not putting the whole picture together, and that's a natural state because someone trained you to do this, okay? Over time. This is toxic positivity too, okay? Or else if you've got over the toxic positivity and you're starting to heal, all you can see is the negative, and it's got you so fucked up, okay? This is just before you start to heal. This is just before you start to heal. And if you're not one of the ones who start to heal and it's been like this for 10 years and you don't have many friends because of it, or if you have like addictions because of it, made you a really negative person, I'm so sorry. Yes, I'm burping. Excuse-moi. So, yeah, that's what happens. Like, if you end up staying stuck in that victim mentality. I hate using that term because it makes me sound like I'm really diminishing people who experience this. But at a certain point, you have to start getting better. You have to stop blaming the other person. Like, at a certain point, this person's not even in your life and you end up obsessed. That's you picking up their energy. You exchange energies and you're not releasing them. You're not working on it. You're not seeking help, okay? You can't live in that state forever. It's a poverty state of mind to be in. It's a poverty energy to be in. We need to actually like take charge. I was always a fighter, so I did go victim mode for a while, but Now I never shut the fuck up about it, and I'm ready to speak my truth, okay? That's where you need to be. Be kind about it, because I can get a little too sass, you know what I mean? A little too sass. Okay, so projection victims project their traits of compassion, empathy, caring, and understanding onto their abuser. No, like he lets me stay at the house, like when I'm okay, when I treat him good, he like buys me things. It's okay. Like he gives me my phone back after I learn my lesson. Stuff like this. Ugh. That's someone loving their own light. That's someone, again, exchanging energy and only seeing the things they do for this person. These people, they don't have personalities, they only have anger. They'll take who you are, your background, because you usually have a good heart. That's why you're so sensitive to this, okay? But you're super insecure, need validation. That's the only downfall here. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about it. I just want to give you the full picture of like how this is working. So anyway, they'll take your personality, project it to other people, and then you'll see it, because they'll act like this around other people, but when they're home, you think like, I fucked up, I didn't do the dishes, I fed the kids too late, because they want a little issue with everything. I brushed my teeth and there was a little too much blood and he made fun of me, like I'm so gross. You'll blame yourself for really stupid things. So yeah, well, let's move on. Okay, so how it changes the brain is, let's see here. Everything we read, learn, do, experience, let's see. Everything we understand, process, it counts on our hippocampus to function properly. Continual retention of memories demands a large amount of neural activity. The brain's production of new neurons and laying down connections to others taking place in the hippocampus. So that would be if it was operating normal, like boop, 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 normal. But if it's like, there's no more space. You're searching for a space and it's like, okay, we got to throw it in the dump in the back there. Okay, all right, we're operating from the back of the dump truck. Okay, we're not driving the bus. Dump truck and bus. You get it? You get it? Okay. Where are we here? The hippocampus is especially vulnerable to ongoing distress, because of the damaging effects of the cortisol. So this is your alarm system. I'll read you the definition. Cortisol is a steroid hormone. When you operate normal, it's normal. You don't need medications to help you with it. But if it's used as a medication to help you be normal, I hate saying that, because you're normal already and these people just made you hurt, you know? Okay, anyway, so it is known as high cortisol. Many animals produce this, mainly, I'm not reading that, those are some big words and I'm not going to embarrass myself. So many animals produce this, and it's put into a medication and you take it as a supplement, okay? Okay, where else are we here? Oh, I feel old. I can't. My eyesight. Yeah, it's natural, our alarm system anyway, so you need assistance with it. You can get it in medications and stuff. Okay, so when there's ongoing distress, your cortisol affects the role at which neurons are either added or subtracted from the hippocampus. This can have grave effects on, I keep losing my words and I can't remember all these big things. On learning, understanding, processing, absorbing, and just settling into new information, okay? We're humans. We're supposed to forever learn. Our brains are literally meant to learn every day. And if you are not nourished, if you are shamed every day, you're not learning. You're focusing on thinking about yourself. These people want you to constantly be in a state of overthinking, because it just makes you look crazy, and they can feed off that. They finally don't look like the psycho one, okay? They have a partner who looks dumb as fuck, and they're gonna display that too. So be careful be careful out there, people, okay? Okay, when the neurons are attacked by cortisol, the hippocampus loses neurons and decreases in size. So you know what I mean? Okay, cortisol stimulates the amygdala. I think I nailed it. While it impairs the hippocampus, forcing our attention onto the emotions we feel while restricting our ability while restricting our ability to take on new information. There are ways to repair these. So let's go here. All right. So guided meditation. You know, guided meditation, whenever I talk about it, it's calling your energy back, and it literally changes your DNA. So many people find it hard to do because we are operating from a system that's blocked off and is in protection mode. That's why some people can't do meditation. That's why some people jab at it. Like, how fucking dumb. Actually, this is kind of a natural medicine, and you shouldn't make fun of it because it can heal things. It gives your, sleep is meditation's sister. That's why when you're drained, you're done, you're dead, you're burnt out, you need a nap. You absolutely need it. If you don't do it, you are damaging more in here. If you're someone who's overworked and has a high intense camp job, this is you. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, and then aromatherapy. I didn't really read about this one, but you guys should look into it and let me know how that is. Aromatherapy, because it's like it's supposed to spark something inside your nerves. And I noticed when we go to Bath and Body Works, after each smell, we're kind of stuck to one. It's like just the one, you know what I mean? Or it's like a swamps, it's a perfume swamp, and you need the coffee beans to wake it up. Are they talking about coffee beans? I don't know what they're talking about. I can look more into it for you guys and probably add that as a comment down there, but you guys could probably Google this, right? So let's go. Oh, and transmuting thought. I'm gonna do that today because of something I found really helpful with my healing is performing acts of kindness. Not out of manipulation, not out of taking a picture of someone you bought a sandwich for on the street, or like writing about it in a status. That is not performing acts of kindness. You're looking for validation. You gotta stop that. Stop posting people's vulnerable moments if you're one of those. It's embarrassing, okay? For the person, not you. And also, it looks really arrogant. Like, these poor people, they're at their most vulnerable. They haven't bathed in a week, and you're giving them a sandwich, and they're literally freezing every night, and you're taking a picture to be proud of yourself. You're fortunate enough to have a phone. That should be good enough for you to feel good, okay? So, performing acts of kindness. I do it like every day. I'm at home a lot more because I work from home now, but this is like, if you're on social media, hey pretty, what's up, you look good today, oh my god, that art is fucking amazing. Putting a love on someone's status, you know, just genuine, from the heart, from the gut, performance of kindness. Not big long posts about someone you love. That's of course another form of validation. When we experience manipulation, we tend to operate from that. We tend to want to look super kind to hide the pain and anger inside of us, or the distraughtness, okay? I know a lot of manipulators and narcissists who always do stuff like this too, so be cautious of that. Be aware. If you do something like that, you might have picked up traits from someone who manipulated you in a past life. What's going on here? My hair is just, you know, trying to take over the show. And then transmuting negative thoughts. Like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example of this because this is the first time I realized I had a lot of negative self-talk. So summer 2020, I was at my all-time fucked up. Like, I was in a state of fight or flight constantly. I couldn't read emotions, but I could still operate, and it was kind of weird. So I ended up working for someone who was really intelligent, actually. He was a great guy. I don't know if he is now. I don't know where he is. But he would help me transmute my negative thoughts. And he, like, I wish I could thank him. I just don't know where he is. If you're watching this video, thank you. You changed my life. I would be like, oh, I'm such a dumb bitch. Or if I did the wrong turn and someone was getting mad at me and he was in the back, he'd be like, no, Paige, you're gonna have an anxiety attack. It's okay. Just keep going. Go take the next turn. And I'd be like, okay. So he was the catalyst to my healing. He made me feel normal. He made me feel like I wasn't a dumb bitch, because I would just say that, like, holy fuck, I'm dumb. He'd be like, Paige, like, I'd be going on a spiel because I was in the fight or flight state of mind. I was in survivor mode. So sorry. And eventually After a while of him doing this, constantly be like, Paige, 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 you're not stupid. Stop saying that. You're one of the kindest, smartest people I know. He was my outside voice. Eventually, I internalized that, and it started my path. It started my healing. And that's why I want to say thank you. If you have someone like this, you really need to start listening to them, because you're not stupid. And your experience is such a collective thing, and I'm not invalidating you. I'm saying, holy fuck, there's a lot of us that went through this. Like, it's actually devastating. And I hope this video helps someone. Okay. Remember, you're not stupid, and whoever's telling you for staying in this situation that you chose it, fuck them. They're not your friend. They're not your family. Get out of there. You stayed in this because you loved someone way more than you could ever love yourself. You couldn't show yourself love because you didn't know how to. No one showed you. People always took from you way too much, okay? And it's okay if you picked up some of these habits of manipulation or looking for validation, you know, stuff like that. It's okay. Don't blame yourself for anything you experienced after this or any of your actions. Just start working on yourself, because you're gonna be in turmoil, and you're gonna constantly manifest people like this, or you're gonna constantly manifest shady people, because what we do, say, behave as, we attract, right? Okay, so also there's one called emotional freedom technique, and I don't know what that is. I should have Googled some of this stuff beforehand, but transmuting thought, performing genuine acts of kindness, and guided meditations. Those ones are my favorite. It does, like, just put on a 12-hour meditation on YouTube every night. Something to heal your DNA. One I really love that you can look up is called cellular healing cellular memory DNA. It's only 3 hours, but you can loop it. Sleep with that, and it'll actually start repairing things. Or else you can, even if you don't think you have ADHD, look for an ADHD healing frequency. That one really helped me. I thought I had ADHD. I still kind of think I do. It's maybe something I haven't healed yet. I don't take medication for anything. I only smoked weed for a long time, and I took anxiety pills before I smoked weed. If you need the herb for a while doing this, if you want to, like, you know, go get cheeched just before you go to bed, perfect. Herb heals, okay? If you're not into it and you don't want people to know, give it a try, see how you feel. Don't go for high CBD, hybrid, or indica. You can go for a low indica, but I suggest going for a CBD. High CBD. Like, Google it, see where you can find it, look online stores. Don't go for the highest possible, and stop smoking sativa if this is something you're experiencing, because it's just sending you into more fight or flight, okay? Fucking brutally honest about some of this stuff, and I sounded kind of, you know, like too much. I hope I didn't. I hope this helped someone, and I hope this makes sense to you. If there's any questions or if I'm wrong about anything, let me know. This is literally just me Googling, reading, and figuring things out on my own and finding definitions. And I don't know how to talk because I have dyslexia and my words sometimes turn upside down. I hope this helps you guys. I'm gonna try and put out a transmuting negative thought video just to help show you how easy it is, okay? Bye.